Myth took the stairs of an old building outside. The alley was characterized by uneven steps where someone had clearly decided that painting over the cracks was a viable alternative to actually fixing them. He's beginning to recognize this as typical contractor behavior around this part of town. He chose the stairs not because he is tired, but because he doesn't need to be seen or heard arriving. He finds a strange comfort in these neglected spaces because they don't ask questions. As he moved along the sidewalk with his hands in his pockets, he adjusted his earpiece to cycle through his music. He prefers no genre in particular and believes that music is mostly vibes, though his vibe right now is, well, it's not what's playing. He presses skip. There was no weight behind his steps and no gravity pulling at the pavement because for once the gravity behaves. He passes a bodega where the owner offers a simple nod. Myth nods back with the quiet satisfaction that there is no recognition, no fear, and no awe in the owner's eyes. He steps inside and buys a pair of sunglasses he doesn't need with a handful of cash. He doesn't rush despite the presence of a small line consisting of a woman arguing on the phone, and a kid counting change too, slowly, because he always waits for the world to move at its own pace. When he finally stepped back outside and into the flow of the city, someone bumped into him in a way that was not hard but just careless. The woman automatically said, "Sorry," as she nearly lost her footing, causing Myth to turn toward her and reply, "Yeah," he says, "all good," before she began moving past him with her red hair dancing away while she bopped along to her own phone. They continued to walk in the same direction for half a block, without saying anything while he was still trying to find the right song. Again, but she suddenly stopped at the corner and nearly caused him to bump her this time. She gestured vaguely toward the ground and asked, "You dropped this?" while she bent down to pick up a receipt and hand it back to him. He looked at the slip of paper and then at her before he responded, "Oh, thanks, probably not important though," he says with a dismissive chuckle because he was genuinely happy that he isn't recognized. Another brief pause followed as the traffic light clicked, and she eventually shrugged before asking, "You live around here?" To which he gave the honest but vague answer of, "Sometimes." She accepted that answer with a sarcastic smile before the light changed, and allowed her to cross the street while he stayed behind, still stuck on his playlist and fumbling with his phone. When he finally looked up from his screen, he saw her giggling about something. He must have missed while he was fumbling around, but he simply dismissed it and smiled as he continued his journey. Myth keeps walking with the receipt staying folded in his pocket longer than it needs to, even though he doesn't notice its presence against his leg as he navigates the city streets. Above him, the clouds drift without drama, and below him the ground stays solid with no rips and no fissure, proving that for at least one afternoon the world could remain perfectly whole.